Welcome back, dear viewers, and you are still watching Cairo Local Time. And in this segment of our program, we will talk about the government's efforts to empower Egyptian youths, especially in the past 7 years, as ever since President Fattah al-Sisi assumed power, he was always keen to communicate with youth, to empower them, and build a new and good generation capable of leading Egypt to a better future. Today we are joined by Dr. Yasser Ora, economic expert, and he is going to talk to us about this issue. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So, sir, one of the achievements that were carried out in the past 7 years under leadership of President Fattah al-Sisi is his keenness to communicate with Egyptian youths, and that was not the case with any other presidents before. So, how do you see his keenness to pay this special attention to Egyptian youths?
I think the president believes that in order for the country to continue, that he has to have a generation of youth that has to be in power, but
Yes.
At the same time it has to be well trained, it has to gain all the expertise in all kinds of fields.
Yes.
So that's why that was, I think that was the headline that he was working on. He started with this. If you can see the government that he did since he started. He started to lower the age of the ministers.
Yes.
He started to lower the age of the governors. So now if you can see at the prime minister and all the ministers that in power right now, you'll see the average. The average is like 45, 50 maximum, not like that. Although in the successor, in President Mubarak's governments, you'll see ministers that stayed until the 80s,
yes.
until the revolutions. So now that was a sign that he's going to lower the age. He's going to rely on the youth, starting from the middle age and going backwards to the youth. And then he started to rely on the youth. He started to make the annual or the semi-annual conferences for the youth, so that he can talk to the youth. He wants to listen. He wants to be in interaction with them, to see and listen what are their problems, what do they need, how to enhance the atmosphere so that they can be ready for taking power within like 15 years or 10 years.
You also have the Presidential Leadership Program, PLP program.
That was the beginning,
Yes.
the PLP program. But this was, I think that was for a higher age a little bit than the youth that was in the 30s and stuff like this. So that you need assistant governors, assistant ministers. So, and then he went down to the youth to start with, to start giving them the education that they need in all aspects of life, economic, social, political, all this stuff, so that they can start preparing them to be in the leadership. And then he made I think the National Institute for the Youth.
Yes,
and this is working, I think, very good. And we will see the result of this institute in the next elections. In the upcoming elections within 5 years, I think we will see new candidates from this. And now we have several assistant governors and assistant ministers started to work, and they are doing a good job. I know a lot of them. They are doing a good job. That's what we need.
So,
we need.
Yes, having a young government in general, I think is very beneficial. So to what extent having these big number of youths in the government will help the government to perform in a better way? I
think it's going to be helpful for the government, and also apart from the government, because you can rely on those youth in different aspects. Although some of them will not, maybe they will not continue in the political line, but they it will help them in the real life. I mean, in their actual life, they will use all what they gained, all what they are trained for, and then all what they learned, and then they will use it, and they will custom it to gain from it from their actual life and their practical life. It's going to give them a lot of experience, and now we are starting to see that it's paying off.
It's paying off, yes.
And but this is still a very short time to prepare the youth for
And I think this
leadership.
encourages Egyptian youth to stay in their homeland and not to leave to other countries and benefit others with their education and skills. Now we can see that they are all now dedicated to help their country.
I think a lot of youth now are looking at their colleagues that are in the Youth Institute or the PLP or wherever they are, and they are looking forward to be with them and to do the same, to get out, to be in the same experiment that they have passed through, and the immigration or the loss of hope that the youth had before.
Yes,
I think it's fading out step by step, but this has to be accompanied also with the economic stability and economic reforms that we are talking about, because it's not only their political view, but we have to look at the economic, and this is the economic aspect, because this is the main issue for the youth. When he starts to get out of college, he starts to look for where is he going to work, how he's going to live, how he's going to get married, where is his house, his car, all the aspects of life. That's why this has to be in parallel, and I think we are working on it. Till now, I think the people haven't seen the achievements of the economic reforms, because it hasn't gone down to the people, but it's paying off, but very slowly, because you are talking about 100 million. You're talking about a country that has stayed for 60 years without any developments in all aspects. Now we are working with the infrastructure. You are going with a network of roads. You are going with new cities. All this is taking money from
even scientific research.
In all aspects, we're going.
Yes, true.
Definitely. And the president is concentrating on all the aspects at the same time. He's working horizontally in all the files, which means you are taking a lot of effort, a lot of money, and it has to take a lot of time, because if he's concentrated only on the old villages or the poor villages or all this stuff from the beginning, you would have seen by now in 6 years or 7 years, you would have seen a lot of achievement. But he's working with all files at the same time, and this is a big challenge for him to work with this. I mean, he has put himself in a very, very tough situation, a tough challenge. But I think it's taking time. Besides, the people love the president and they are backing him up. And this is what's making the stability. Although prices have gone high, there are a lot of problems with the economic and social acts.
But we are working on all these.
But we are working, and the people are seeing what's happening. That's why they are patient. They are working with the president, because as long as you are seeing something is on the ground, then you will be satisfied. And you are tight, but you are seeing something coming up for the next generations, and it's
new cities everywhere, not only in the capital. We have new Ismailia, new Mansoura, new administrative capital. So I think that the development is everywhere. It's not only in Cairo.
It's going to pay off, definitely.
Yes.
But we have to be patient. We have to be supportive. We have to be concentrating on the education.
Yes.
And this is and the health. And I think that the president now is starting to give a lot of effort and a lot of concentration on those two files, especially because if you need strong youth and you need a future for the country, you have to concentrate on this file, because this is the aim of every and each president who came in any country that we are seeing now as called as the development companies. But not the underdeveloped. The underdeveloped, usually they invest in the buildings, but not in the people. The president started now to invest in the people. That's why he started with the youth, so that you will have a lot of people, a lot of youth, and a lot of people to choose from, to widen the horizon, so that you can have a lot of. If you are now picking a minister or a governor or any kind of leader in whatever aspect, he will find not only one, but you will find like 50 and 100 to choose from.
Qualified.
And this is how you make a strong country. Yeah.
So, sir, also the Ministry of International Cooperation under the auspices of Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli are due to launch Generation Next Forum on Saturday. It's an important event that aims at enhancing entrepreneurship and startups in Cairo, in Egypt actually. So how do you see government efforts to support young entrepreneurs?
As we were talking just a few minutes ago, that the economic aspect is very important for the youth. If you want to improve the country, if you want to put it in another level, then you have to work with the economic aside in parallel with the education, with the health, with everything. So that's why you are concentrating right now that the people would not wait and to get into the government government job or something like this. No, they want the people to start entrepreneurship, to work their own private business, and to open their horizon in different aspects, not just to graduate from college and wait for the job. There is no more. This is no more coming.
Yes.
This completely changed. That's why they want to push
innovation, creativity.
Exactly. And this, I think, this is very good movement, but it has to be powered or empowered by the government, and that's what they are trying to do. It has to be pushed much more. They have to be backing them up. They have to relieve them from the challenges that they are going to have, especially in the industry. If they are going to make small factories or stuff, they have to give them
find financial support,
marketing, and open the markets, so that he will be concentrating on his product, not only how to market the product outside, and to have all this burden on himself at the end of the month, how he's going to pay his salaries. Or so there should be like the Chinese economy. This should be the role model that we have to work with. And
yes,
and we have now the infrastructure for this, and I think the people are turning out to see this, because you don't have the governmental jobs right now, so you have to work out of the box.
And this gives a good base to the economy. If you depend on entrepreneurs and small and medium enterprises and new startups, I think this is good for the economy of any country, as we have seen in the Chinese economy.
It's going to be good for the GDP. It's going to be good for the business, the environment in general, because once you have a small business, it's gonna, if you give it the support, the enough support, you turn it from a small business to a medium. The medium is going to go to a high business or a large business. So you are increasing. The more you increase, the exports, the more you get foreign currency, the more you open jobs. So it's a complete cycle. It's going to be paying off end of the day for the Egyptian people.
Yes. Also, as many as 49,360 public employees have been trained recently as part of the new administrative capital relocation plan. So, sir, how do you see also this move by the government to make a new capital to train employees to be part of this great project?
If you look around for different other countries that are much smaller than Egypt and much newer, let's say that, like if you go to the Emirates or some other countries like this, you will see that the governments are completely digital. They are working with the latest technologies in all governments. You are working with the applications. You can do all what you need to do from online. If you go to any government place, then it has to be a must that you go, but otherwise you will finish everything. The support that you get, the atmosphere that you go inside, this all presents how much the government or the country is improving, and that's what the president is doing. He wants to have right now the government to be state of the art. You have to have the servers, big servers. You have to work all your stuff from home. You can work all what you need. All your needs can be fulfilled without going to a certain place. So now you have a headquarter which is having all the services and all the amenities that they can help the people with without going there. And if you go there, you will find an atmosphere as if you are in the United States, not in Egypt. It's a complete move, and it's a different move. It's going to put Egypt in another area or another level, and it's going to improve the services that is given to the people, and you can see that they are improving everywhere. And now if you go to make your license, to get everything, now you have applications working. And this is a lot of effort to do the digital government and the digital transformation. It takes a lot of money, a lot of effort, and I think with the new transition in the new capital, we see a lot of difference in the level of services. Plus, it's gonna be for the whole world. It's a new image for the Egyptian country.
Yes. So, sir, if we go back to talk about the youths and Egyptian women in Egypt, also the president was keen to empower Egyptian women and put them in better positions. We can see that they are now in the parliament as ministers, many different fields. So, how do you see his keenness also to empower women in the past period?
President Sisi's era is the era of the women.
Yes,
I mean, since
true.
he started his office
yes.
in 2014, I think he
Yes.
was concentrating of the equality and concentrating of
equality,
the
yes.
women's file, and he put the women in different fields that has not been before. And then we saw the last thing that the president did was he put her in the judicial positions,
yes.
which was the higher
It was a
positions
very good
that
move by
the
the
women
president.
was never been there
Yes.
before. We can see how many ministers, women ministers right now in the government. We can see he's relying on the woman as if he's same as he's relying on the men. So this is giving a lot of confidence and a lot of good image to the Western society,
Yes.
that Egypt is not degrading, but it's upgrading the women.
Yes.
The women, and I think this
As
is
any
this is
developed
positive.
country, yes.
Yeah, it's positive. Definitely, it's very positive for the image. That's why we were talking from the beginning that he's working in all aspects. He's
Yes,
trying
true.
to build a new image for Egypt, other than the one that the people has in mind outside. So whenever or wherever the people now comes to Egypt every 3 or 4 months, he sees a lot of changes
Yes.
in the roads, in the
Everywhere.
in the
You
infrastructure.
can see the difference.
Everywhere.
Even if I stay at my home for 2 weeks and go to the streets, I feel there is a difference.
Yeah, yeah. Definitely.
So it's taking place in a very fast pace. So, sir, if we go back to talk about economic reforms, and how do you see the package of economic reforms that was adopted in the past 7 years, and now we can see the launch of the second phase of the economic reform programs, and to what extent it will help in achieving the development agenda of 2030?
I think that what we have seen and what we have achieved in the first 7 years, those were the toughest 7 years for the economy and for the people.
I think the coming will be better. We hope
the coming
so.
will be much. I don't want to say much easier,
Maybe better.
but in the atmosphere that we are living in right now, in the corona and the COVIDs,
yes.
the economies are very much harmed everywhere. I think we are
Still
maintaining
going,
and
yes.
still going. And this is itself is an achievement. Although if we didn't have this crisis for the corona, I think we would have been in a better place right now in the economy, the Egyptian economy especially. But we are doing good. We are going with a good pace. In the next 7 years, or let's say from here to 2030, what we have done in this 7 years, I think it's going to put its impact in the next 7 years, which is going to be much less burden on the Egyptian people and on the Egyptian citizen, because we have done the toughest part.
And also one of the important initiatives launched by the president that targets youth, women, and every Egyptian citizen is Decent Life Initiative. And we can see that he's paying also special attention to this initiative. It aims at improving the lives, living standards of Egyptians living in rural areas. So how do you see this initiative? To what extent it will help in developing Egyptian towns and villages?
The more you invest in the people, the more you invest in the infrastructure, the more you invest in raising the standard of life and the standard of living of the people, the more you get as a country.
Yes.
and impact. The results will be very positive on the economy, very positive on the business environment, very positive on the tourism, everything, because the more you give the people better life. If you see people living in slums right now, the president is concentrating on the slums, because the slums you get a lot of crime, a lot of terrorism, everything. Now you are removing all the slums, you are increasing, or you are making the life better, you are increasing the standard of life, a standard of living. If he's living in a slum without any sewage or water or electricity or anything, and now you are moving him into an apartment with fully furnished, fully finished, in an environment that where he have a club, he have a market, we have outings.
Yes.
Accessibility is very easy from their places. He's not moving them to some places that are abandoned or something like this. No, and now we are making the monorails. We are expanding the underground for last phases. All these transportation projects, all these roads that have been done, the transition that has been done for the poor people to better areas, I think it's gonna be impacted in the economy, and it's gonna be very positive on their lives and on the economy itself. It's gonna be it will be paying, because also the government, when they move the people to better places, they reinvest in the same areas. They want to restructure Cairo, the old Cairo and the new Cairo. If you look at Cairo from the sky, you will see a lot of slums. You see it's completely deteriorated and it's damaged. Now we are removing all this stuff. Area by area is being removed, renovated. You have seen the Al Fustat and and what they have been done in Ain Sira, and lots of other areas are coming. But you cannot ask the government to do everything at the same time, because also we are talking about Egypt, not about the US. We have, but if we with our budget, and we are doing all these efforts, all these projects, I think we are doing an excellent, unbelievable job.
And still in the pandemic, all these achievements taking place, and still we have a pandemic. So also, as we are talking about Egyptian youths, one of the important things related to youth, of course, is education. And the president has announced the year 2019 as the year of education, and he was keen on allocating 20% of scholarships to education personnel for a period of 10 years, and also he was keen on improving skills of youths in universities. So how do you see this by the president?
You can see the interest of the president in the education, on how many universities are being opened right now, how many schools have been built in different villages. Now, when the renovations that are going on right now in each village, they are building a school, they are building the firefighting office, they are building a different office for multiple activities to serve the people's needs. The president is concentrating on the education everywhere right now. Universities, there are lots and lots of universities are opening in the capital and in Alamein and everywhere, joint ventures, in Galala, everything. So education is the core. If you're talking about enhancement, if you're talking about taking Egypt into another level, then you have to concentrate on education, because if you're who are you investing in right now, within 10-15 years are going to be in positions. Those are going to be the next generation that's going to lead. You have to put them in power with the suitable education that can compete, and then they have to be compatible with what's going on outside. They have to be trained, they have to be well educated according to the latest in the education, like what we have seen from the Ministry of Education. Then now you are working with the tablets, you are going with the technology. Everything is going at the same time. You are enhancing the way you are educating the youth. And I think this is working from like now 3 or 4 years in the education program, and it's going to be paying off. Within 10 years from now, we'll start to see a generation that is not using the paper and pencil, but is going to be using the technology. As an ipso fact, it's going to be his.
Even in rural areas, they are using the iPad now.
Because they go to the exams with the iPads and tablets. Otherwise they are not going to enter the exam. So they are forced now to learn the technology. We have seen India and how it's improving in the IT technology, and they are now masters of this. I think this is a business you can do from home. You can have your tablet, you can do your own business, you can create software, applications, programs, and this is going to, end of the day, pay back to the government and to the economy.
So, sir, before wrapping up this interesting interview, also, if we talk about the Egyptian youths, we saw that the president was keen to invite youths from Africa, from other countries, foreign countries. To what extent the World Youth Forum help in bridging the gaps between world youths?
The exposure is very important to mix with different cultures and different brains and different mentalities. And this is very important, because you are not going to talk to yourself inside Egypt. They have to see how the other youth are doing, how the other governments are dealing with them. Different other experiments that has been done, and they have to learn from them how they did it, how they can achieve it, how they achieved this, how they reached this level.
Yes.
And so the mix and between the Egyptian youth and the different other cultures, I think it's very, very important. I think they gained a lot from this exposure, and it's going to be very important for them to continue this. I think after the corona, I think the forums are going to continue.
I think it will resume.
Due to the COVID, I think it's halted right now.
Yes.
But I think it's going to be very helpful for the coming period.
Yes, finally, I'd like to thank you, Dr. Yasser Koura, economic expert. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
And by that, viewers, we come to the end of today's edition of Cairo Local Time. Thank you for watching.